Peace, chiefs and deers. It's Bronzebird here with another video. Before I begin, like and subscribe. Thank you. So this is another installment of my third dimensional series. I figured that I wanted to get into the whole entire thing about real estate, only because the idea about it is real estate is definitely a big factor when it comes to this country. And as you know, when it comes to this country, it has to deal with capitalism. But part of this whole entire thing is moving into the fourth industrial revolution, which a lot of things start to become high tech and starts to exclude human activity in order to accomplish many of these goals, such as the videos that I'm going to show you today talks about 3D printing, but 3D printing and the idea and concept of building homes to the factor that there might be a neighborhood or suburban community that may spawn up based off of 3D printing of housing. And this is the thing about this whole entire charade about 3D printing houses. The idea about it is, yes, they have the prototypes, but as I always say, there's always these prototypes serve the basis as a way to say, this is the future of your world. Especially the last video that I did on 3D printing your food. Now they change it to everything, bringing about 3D printing. Toys, housing, maybe even clothes or fashion. Who knows? The possibility is endless, but I always make this suggestion because y'all humans have to understand when it comes to automation, a lot of the jobs you thought could keep you safe in that era is not going to be the same thing in the coming years, in the coming decade. A lot of these jobs is going to be obsolete, especially with a lot of people who go into construction. I don't know how well 3D printing would work in metropolitan era, but don't think for 1 second that they wouldn't take upon that deal, especially the fact of the matter that they're trying to give out this whole entire program because of climate change and climate issues, but they're trying to find a way of being green energy efficient. So it's not much more to say, but I'm going to show you a couple of videos to extend my point on what I'm talking about, just so you guys can see it for yourself. Fair use.
So having strong, sturdy walls, having a door that we can close at night, it's something that we take for granted, being able to lock our door and be safe. For many of these families, for years, sometimes even a lifetime, they don't have that opportunity to have a safe shelter. So when they move into a new story community, when they move into a safe home, families' lives are transformed.
Now, before they continue, my whole entire concept is one thing and one thing only. I think it is a good effort and initiative for them to care for the people who is less fortunate, but at the same time, you have to understand this is all about money and exploitation. My only concern when it comes to these 3D printing houses is not just the fact that it's 3D printing. I mean, I'm not saying that's wrong, right? The whole entire construction, this, that, and the third. But it starts to become crazy how now everybody really wants to care when these new initiatives and technology comes in. And so now they build all these houses. And that's why I'm only concerned, because you have two nations that's still a powerhouse economically. So when they see these downtrodden communities, is it their effort to really help people? Or is it the fact of the matter that they're still trying to extract resources from these people that live in these countries. Now, I'm not saying this particular company does that. Maybe they might be a nonprofit organization or might be an organization that really cares for fighting poverty and ending homelessness. But if we're going to go off of that, and let's start building some 3D printed houses out in Skid Row in California. You understand? And this is the thing you have to understand. It may even become so high tech that you don't even require electricity for these 3D houses. A lot of things might be solar panels and this, that, and the third. They might operate it that way so you can get your nice little Wi-Fi and your 5G towers and this, that, and the third. Well, maybe the 5G towers, maybe not. But if you got a lot of money like that, maybe you can get your own 3D printer and you can go ahead and build your own house and I guess create some type of off-grid living type of situation. Who knows?
Our first product is a 3D printer that can print a house in 24 hours for half the cost. Phase one for News Story and for Icon is a proof of concept house, and the good news is we've done it. We printed the first home in the United States that's going to be permitted. And for us, this is just the beginning. The real kind of home run for us is to be able to do what we've done here in Austin, Texas, in the developing world. And we're doing that in what we call phase two, which is in El Salvador. We are going to be printing an entire village for people that don't have homes.
Now, my thing about it is it's a good initiative and a good effort, but my whole entire thing here in the United States, a lot of people get by on doing construction. And, you know, it's contract work and all these different things. I mean, it's a good money hustle. And the only reason I ask this and I say this and I make this aware to people out there that work in construction, this might be the future. If you're seeing yourself in construction, if you have no plans to move up in a construction company within the 5 to 10 year mark, which I don't think, you know, that's not a lot. It's not like a lot of people don't think that. I mean, of course, you want to elevate at your job. Who doesn't, right? But my thing about it is, when it comes to these construction type of things, the whole entire idea and concept that I'm believing in is when you see things like this, yes, it's going to lower the chances of someone who is working in a construction force to do these homes. They're not going to require a lot of you guys to be working there. And the thing about it is the materials is going to be a lot cheaper because they're using 3D printing. So there's not going to be bricks, limestone, and all these different things. Yeah, you're still going to need glass windows and all this other stuff, plastic windows and all this other stuff to do it. But at the same time, it's not going to be the same. Wood is practically wooden. It's not going to be much of a use either. Not that much. Not to the same degree. You understand? Or same degree, excuse me. So that's the first video. I wanted to show you another video to expand my point even more. So
This is the house that Jack built. Is a nursery rhyme, which might need an update. How about the house Jack printed? Here's Ben Tracy.
It looks like some sort of industrial soft-serve machine, precisely pouring its pattern one layer at a time. What this giant robot is doing is hard to wrap your head around. It's printing a house.
This is a house 25.
Jason Ballard is the CEO of Icon, a company in Austin, Texas using massive 3D printers to redesign home building.
And so is the future that we're all going to be out for a walk some night seeing robots building houses down the street?
Robotic construction is absolutely our future. This is a complete transformation.
Don't tell you I didn't tell you so. You understand? Robots will replace you humans when it comes to construction as well. That's why I try to warn brothers, I try to warn men alike. You should probably get into the fourth industrial revolution and find ways of cutting corners so that you don't end up at jobs where the whole entire market may become deficient within the coming years because it's going to be replaced by something else.
In the way that we approach sheltering ourselves, in the way that we approach building.
This nearly 5-ton machine follows a computerized blueprint and can build the entire wall system of a home with a concrete mixture in less than a week. Traditional construction is used for the foundation, the roof, wiring, and plumbing. But
This is where they have it right at, though, because if you really think about it, I remember watching this thing on Instagram where I believe it was in China. They wanted to fix like something as crazy as a sinkhole or pothole, or when it came to building something, it actually took them less than a couple of months to complete the project. Not specifically a sinkhole. I think the sinkhole only took like a day or to like up to 5 to 6 days to complete to make sure it went back to normal. But when it came to these buildings or all this type of infrastructure, it didn't take a long time for them to complete a project. Now, the thing about it is with the US, they take longer when it comes to completing tasks and completing contracts and stuff like that. I mean, even if you look at things that happen in New York, such as famous as Andrew Cuomo taking over the project of the Second Avenue subway, how that was supposed to be built in the 1970s, but it took them until 2017 to actually get that project done so that the Q train can run all the way to 96th Street. Like, that's what I mean. Like, the thing about it is that, yeah, you're gonna have 3D printing come out, but the whole entire idea about it is cutting time and labor. But will this be an efficient way to make sure that projects get done if they're using this as a method to build?
Painting the walls is several times faster than wood framing, and Icon says the concrete structures are highly energy efficient and can better withstand natural disasters.
So this house has curves. That's right.
And you don't have to live in a boring box. These wavy 3D printed walls will eventually become this high design home. 3D printed homes are rare, but they're starting to pop up all over the world. These domes in Italy were printed out of dirt in 200 hours. And another company plans to build the first 3D printed neighborhood in the United States in the California desert near Palm Springs.
Stop right there. And that's what I mean. High-tech neighborhoods, probably equipped with solar panels and all these different things. Like I said before, maybe, just maybe, if it comes to that, 5G towers in those places and stuff like that. And look, listen, I'm not knocking it. I understand this is part of the future. This is what they're probably going to do. But think about it this way. How is the real estate market going to be able to market this to the everyday common folk who's trying to buy a home? Will they start with a high price first and then lower it down? Because we're talking about a new innovative technology. So the thing you got to think about is, if they're literally trying to sell you this house and it's 3D printed, it's not going to be one of those sort of things they're going to sell you at a low value or sell you at a mid value. They're going to sell it at a high value. You got to remember, capitalism always starts with high first and it goes down because they're trying to meet that quota of saying, you need to buy this home. This is the first efficient home that's not even done by regular wood framing and all this other stuff. It's done by 3D printing. You got to buy this home. You know how America advertises. And I think probably across the world, yeah, maybe they might do it a little bit more cheaper and stuff like that when it comes to real estate, but who knows? If their goal is to fight homelessness and poverty-stricken areas. And again, I'm not sure how well it would go in the metropolitan areas. I don't know, because it's a little bit hard, especially when you live in cities where their whole entire life is real estate. You understand?
So why are they catching on? Cost and speed. Icon is trying to cut the cost of construction in half while building homes twice as fast.
And get rid of the idea, lower the rates of employees. Okay, that's why I try to tell people. Y'all think this is just some easy walk in the park? No, construction and the contractors and all that other stuff is going to be lower for y'all. It's not going to require a lot of y'all to be working in construction to be building these houses and these homes in these neo suburban neighborhoods. I'm telling you this.
Something some housing market experts doubt is possible. But what's not in question is that the U.S. is currently 4 million homes short of buyer demand.
We need housing for homeless folks. We need affordable starter houses. We need middle market houses. So we need more of every kind of house, period. Also, construction work is hard. This doesn't get tired.
Yes, humans get tired doing this kind of work, but humans need jobs.
There's a nationwide shortage of skilled labor and construction professionals. We're filling a gap where there's not enough job.
So this bedroom right here.
And the only reason I think that is, this is just my analysis, maybe anecdotal, maybe not. I think what the reason why that is that there's more of a push to send people to cities, especially this company being out of Texas. And Texas, cities in Texas are starting to become more tech filled, and they're starting to move companies out in Texas because of the taxes and all these different things. My only analysis is that they're not really trying to market these homes like that because people don't feel like traveling, let's say 10 or 20 miles to work or 10 to 20 miles to the city. They want to be right directly near the city or in the city itself. That's my analysis on it. Maybe anecdotal, maybe not.
Here could be a home office, could be a guest bedroom.
Paulo Soriano and his fiancée, Shay Craig, have been struggling to buy a home in Austin's red-hot housing market.
Each of these houses was printed in about a week.
Oh, wow.
They came to look at some of the first 3D printed homes for sale in the country. The first level of this 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom house is printed concrete. The second floor is conventional construction. It will be listed for around $700,000.
So would you seriously consider buying something like this?
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah. This is really such a good value in terms of space and the amount of bedrooms. You know, we want to start a family one day. We definitely need extra bedrooms to accommodate that. So.
Subtle hint.
Subtle hint.
Yeah.
This is the way we should be building.
Jason Ballard is also using this new technology to shoot for the moon. His company is working with NASA to design 3D printed shelter for astronauts who could one day live on the moon and Mars.
I think this makes construction exciting again, and it's inspiring and hopeful to have a solution.
With that being said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Peace.